We also have something very exciting to share with everybody today, and that, of course, is a brand new segment here on the Daily 8. It's called The Brief, and it is hosted by our very own Josh Sanchez. I will let him explain it a little bit better than I could. Hello and welcome everyone to a brand new and very exciting new segment that we're so excited to be bringing to everybody right here on Wood TV Plus. It's called The Brief, and it will be hosted by our very own Josh Sanchez. Josh is joining us now. Josh, it's so nice to have you on today. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Well, Phil, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited for this new chapter, this new journey with everyone that's watching.
Absolutely. You know, we've been bringing out a lot of different content, a brand new content to everybody right here on Wood TV Plus, and I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of The Brief. So Josh, without further ado, why don't you just explain for everybody what you kind of had in mind for this new program?
Yeah, welcome to The Brief, everyone. This show will be one that's covering veterans issues and those stories and issues that are impacting the active duty, reserve community, as well as their families. And we'll also take a closer look at Michigan's role in national security and defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously the top stories revolving that will be a part of the show, and then obviously some news that you can use. I love that term that you used earlier, Josh. Just ways that people, whether they are in the active duty military, or maybe they're a veteran, or maybe they know somebody. These are ways that you can again kind of maybe meet others and maybe talk about some of the issues that you might be struggling with, or again just take advantage of some really great deals that might be happening here in West Michigan. And Josh, maybe some people may not know, but you are actively with the Coast Guard, the United States Coast Guard. And I think that maybe also played into why you wanted to put on a show like this. But really, what is the why behind having something like The Brief?
Yeah, I've been with the Coast Guard Reserves for the last 9 years. And, that nearly decade long full of stories and adventures. Through all that, I've been able to meet some really great folks, both on the active duty side as well as the reserve side. Some of them have become really good friends that, regardless of where they are around the country, we still keep in touch. So this show is for people like them. And so we're able to hear their stories, learn more about the issues impacting this community. And so this is all for folks just like the people that I've worked with and become great friends with.
Well, we're very excited about this first episode of The Brief. So without further ado, Josh, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, again, thanks so much for everyone joining on to The Brief. One of the biggest issues in the last couple of months before the start of this show was the government shutdown, one of the longest in U.S. history. And despite that lapse in appropriation, there was still duty weekends for reservists. There were still missions going on daily, as well as some deployments as well. Back in October, more than 120 members of the Michigan National Guard with the 1430th Engineering Company were deployed to the southwest border as part of an ongoing operation there, and Tessa Koresh was there for us to capture that departure ceremony.
Here at the Lawson Ice Arena, it was an emotional and impactful send-off ceremony. 120 soldiers from the Michigan Army National Guard's 1430th Engineer Company are being deployed to the southwest border.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the 1430th Command Team, Captain Warner and First Sergeant Priest, welcome to the official departure ceremony of the 1430th Engineer Company.
Greeted by family and community members, these soldiers were honored before heading out to support U.S. Customs and Border Protection's mission on the Texas-Mexican border.
The 1430th Engineer Company remains a ready and reliable engineering force for the Michigan National Guard and the United States Army.
We'll miss him a lot.
Among them, Sergeant First Class George Grace, one of roughly 120 soldiers preparing to fly to Texas in the coming days.
I'm here to serve my country. We are very proud, and we are honored that we have this opportunity to show how we can serve our country, and my family is supporting me today.
His wife and kids came to see him off after weeks apart during the training.
It's nice to see him again before he leaves, for sure. I'm sure it'll kick in once he's gone for a while. Just so long away from home, but it's for a good cause, and I'm pretty happy that he's doing it.
For the Grace family and many others, this deployment brings mixed emotions.
He's been deployed before, so I know what it's like, but never for this long. So I'm definitely gonna miss him, but I'm glad we got to see him.
Yeah, some mixed feelings for sure.
Grace's wife, Alyssa, says their support comes from pride and purpose.
Just really proud of him and really understand that this is something that is important for the country, important for him. So we're trying to help him get through it the best that we can.
Please reach out.
The deployment is a continuation of 5 years of work done by the Michigan National Guard.
This specific mission on the southern border, general purpose, something we've been doing for many, many years now.
Leaders say their role is to provide wide area security, and while they're an engineering company, their training allows them to take on a variety of tasks.
We train them in everything from patrolling to troop leading procedures, the basic soldier tasks that they'll need down there.
As soldiers prepare to depart, their commanders say they're ready for the job ahead.
You've trained to shoot, move, communicate, medicate, sustain, fight, and win.
This is a federal deployment, and it's the 6th of its kind for the Michigan Army National Guard since 2020. In Kalamazoo, Tessa Kresh, News 8.
Thank you, Tessa. Now, before the government reopened, Veteran Day ceremonies were on hold at several national cemeteries around the country, including here in Michigan. And cemetery staff said in an online post that employees would be limited and resources would be focused on interments. But that didn't stop Fort Custer National Cemetery Advisory Committee from hosting its own Veterans Day ceremonies over at Fort Custer National Cemetery. Chairman retired Colonel Frank Walker says that volunteers built the stage, and those same volunteers also helped direct traffic and print programs for the ceremony. And he also made sure to reflect on that sacrifice and that dedication from the volunteers during the ceremony.
Is a result of volunteers and the community members coming together to ensure our Veterans Day program was not canceled for political reasons. Our veterans stood watch in both peace and war. We owe our gratitude, not silence. And thanks to all of you, we will not be silenced.
And an Air Force veteran is reflecting on her time in service and how that gave her a different perspective as she battles her fight against cancer. Nicole Tam sat down with her earlier this month.
Snow lingers on tree branches in Brandy McBride's garden.
In the wintertime, these are the stars of the show, and for me, like, I can look out the window and still see life and still see hope.
Blooms of color surviving the cool fall air, adding up to be a colorful landscape.
As a mom that's probably 10 years old.
Her passion for gardening started with one mom on the front porch.
I think I left it, and the next spring, I noticed that it was starting to turn green.
When you give it time, some flowers bloom again the next season.
There's always hope, and there's always a new day, there's always a new season, and things are gonna come back. And they don't just come back, they come back better. They come back bigger and stronger and healthier.
The symbols and lessons from each plant is in some way a reflection of her journey as she faces metastatic breast cancer.
Getting a terminal diagnosis is shocking. But it's not going away. So you're either going to face it or you're going to struggle through it. And that's just one thing I've kind of come to find, of just embracing the struggle instead of being shocked.
Originally diagnosed at age 31 with no family history, for a while she was a survivor before cancer came back in 2020 that spread to her lymph nodes, bones, and brain.
I have a VA disability rating because of my cancer. And they did it's on the list for burn pit exposure through the PACT Act.
The PACT Act provides health care for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. Service members who served in areas like the Middle East and developed certain health conditions are presumed their condition is caused by their service. McBride qualified for that care and still goes to at least 2 appointments each week.
What I have experienced in my life to now help cancer patients or to help women dealing with things.
She's not only a patient, but an advocate, pushing for others to find hope, even in moments that seem impossible.
These little greens, that's the next mom.
Now, moving on to news that you can use if you're a veteran over in Kalamazoo County. This is something that you might want to hear. The Kalamazoo County Veteran Service Office is offering $75 gift cards to either Park Street Market or Midtown Fresh as part of a way to help veterans during the holiday season to make sure they have a good meal on their table. Now, these gift cards are available for people that are able to present a proof of veteran status, such as your DD-214 or other documentation as well, to the Veteran Service Office. That initiative is running from December 19 or until supplies last. So that's some great information to know if you are in need of some extra help during these holidays. And that's pretty much everything we have for the brief for our first episode. Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, no, an incredible job, Josh. I mean, just the amount of content that we were able to fit in just this little bit of time, and then also some really important information, I think, as well. And again, if this is any kind of way to view the future just based off this first episode, I think we've got a real great program on our hands with the brief, Josh. Can't wait for future episodes.
Well, thanks so much, Phil, for having me and putting together this plan to launch this show. And for everyone that's watching, thank you so much for your support as we start off the first step on this new journey. So excited to see where things go. Be sure to catch the next episode of The Brief coming out next month. Until then, have a happy new year and have a happy holidays. Thanks.